creators. Today I'm going to show you one of my go-to appetizers. This is perfect for those last-minute impromptu get-togethers with friends. I always keep a box of these in my freezer. These are these wonderful little mini Phyllo Shells. Now, I always have cheese on hand, and my favorite one to work with these Phyllo Shells is going to be this Brie. So I'm going to be putting Brie inside the Phyllo Shells and topping it off with whatever kind of jelly or jam I have on hand. And today, it just happens to be raspberry, which is going to be beautiful in these because we're going to be making these for an impromptu holiday get-together. And the nice thing is, they pop in the toaster oven and they're done in about 11 minutes or so. So I'm going to go ahead and get started by just cutting up some of my Brie. And I like to cut the ends off the Brie. So I happen to be one of those people who doesn't care for that bitter flavor of the end pieces. So we'll go ahead and we just cut some of the ends off and just take a few little squares about this size. So you can see, I know I'm a little far away from the camera today, but we've got about that much going on inside each one. Now don't be so particular if you have a little tiny bit of that rind on there from the Brie. It's going to be just fine. And so what we will do, and I'll just do a couple of them to show you, and then I'll take a picture at the end so that you'll see. These little shells, Phyllo Shells, set up just like this. All right, so what we do is we take one of our little shells, take our little square of cheese, and again, don't worry if you didn't get all the little rind off, just get most of it off. Pop that little piece of cheese in there and top it with about, I would say about a 1/16 of a teaspoon so that it looks like this, and put it on your baking sheet. Now I lined my baking sheet with some parchment paper. You could simply use tin foil, it would work just as good. And then we're going to continue with another shell, another piece of cheese. And you know, some people like to use different cheeses in here, but I find that the Brie works really nice. So there we have the next one. And see how quickly these come together? And again, they only cook for about 11 minutes. So you could use a little less cheese or a little more, just depending on what you have on hand. Some people even fill these with some savory fillings. I have seen people take these and instead of using the whatever jam you have on hand, I happen to have raspberry, but I've seen people fill them with red pepper jelly. So you could do cream cheese and red pepper jelly, whatever you have. That's why I love these, because they are just so versatile and forgiving. You just don't need to cook them for long. Just remember that you have them in the oven, set your timer. I do about 8 minutes and then I check them, but I find that they usually take about 11 minutes for all of that to melt. So again, this is about $1.99 worth of mini Phyllo Shells from the store. Keep them in your freezer. Whatever jam or jelly you happen to have on hand is fine. Again, the red is really pretty, the raspberry. If you had strawberry, that would be great too for the holidays. And it is just about Christmas time here in North Carolina. So if you're having a get-together, for whatever holiday you might be celebrating this time of the year. We happen to celebrate Christmas in my house. So this is perfect for, you know, you got to make a bunch of appetizers because you're having a bunch of people over, or you need to take something and you're running late. You know, maybe you're going to that little get-together with some friends at a friend's house, and, you know, you've been out shopping all day and you have no idea what you can throw together really quick. Well, as you can see, in the time that it has taken us to film this video, which isn't very long at all, I have made about a dozen of these without any effort whatsoever. And the mess, well, it's not going to be a big mess. I have a cutting board, and I'm going to have some parchment paper to take off of that baking sheet that's going in the toaster oven. So we hope that you have enjoyed watching us make our little simple 3-ingredient appetizer, cheese, jelly, and a shell. That's it. All right. So from all of us at The Love of Food, we want to wish you and yours a wonderful holiday season.